We good? Cool. Cool. Can you hear me? Oh well, what should we start with? What should we begin with? Okay, let's see. Okay. Alrighty, what should we make first? Do something simple. Try the new Spider-Man versus Ghost Rider. We'll try that first. Turn this around a second. There we go. A little bit better. Pretty cool. 72 pieces. Simple. Right. Pretty cool. Okay. Hello for anyone watching in the chat. Okie dokie. Let's make a Spider-Man first. Yeah, oh, look at that. That's a cool head. So you can get that to look up properly. Okay, zoom in. There we go. Let's go for his head. That's pretty cool. Right, let's go for it later. Do Spidey first. No, I'm looking for the wrong colored head. Cool. So, Spider-Man. Pretty simple. There it is. Nice, nice. Pretty cool. There's Ghost Rider. There we go. So, let's see if we can move this around a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Today, well, right now at least anyway, we're going to build Spider-Man versus Ghost Rider motorcycle. It's the newest one that's just come out. So we'll give this one a whirl first, and then we've got a couple more that we can build. As you can see, this is all this on the background are things that we can build. We can build some speed champions. We've got a new Back to the Future, a new Botanicals. We've got the other Marvel, Spider-Man versus Venomized Wolverine out. We can also build some Star Wars. We've got a couple of Star Wars, 3 Star Wars. I know we're going to do the Chopper tomorrow, and then we've still got a few more in a bag on the floor. Okay. Let's have a look. Where's his head gone now? There's his head. Okay, let's put his head on that. And then he's got flaming hair somewhere. There he is, flaming hair. That's pretty cool. And then we've got some flaming hands here somewhere as well. Let's put the flaming hands there. Let's try and move this over a little bit better so you guys can see. That's a bit better. There we go. Okay. And then I think we put this in his hands. There we go. Very intricate. There we go. Oh, we got running away with us. There we go. There it is. We got it. There we go. Okie dokie. So, again, there we go. Not too bad. Alrighty. Let's start here. That's what we need to go on. I don't like separating all my things. I like the fun and the mystery of trying to find it all. Let's try that. How's the camera looking? Are you still alright? Or do we need to move things around a little bit? Try and move things a little bit. There we go. A bit better. Just find the right angles on this new table. Flip that over. Alright, back over again. Alright. There we go. And this one here. So not too bad so far. You say it's a pretty simple set. It's only 72 pieces, so it shouldn't take us too long to do this one. We'll get bigger as the evening goes on. Is anyone else building any Lego right now? Put it in the chat if you're building anything exciting, what you're building, what you like to build. Let's see, this is that one. Goes on down. Yeah, okay. Oh, not too bad. Right. I've got this here. Got put the gun together. There we go. There it is. So that's on that part there. We got our first of those gun turret ready. Oh, okay, that's gone over the top. My mistake. I'm sure somebody's screaming at the screen right now. That goes there. There we go. That's better. That makes more sense. And we've got another one here. Hi Felix, YT3-4. How are you doing? What are you doing this evening? Are you building anything? We are currently building this one. Spider-Man versus Ghost Rider motorcycle. That's what we're on right now. Don't worry, it doesn't take very long, this one. 72 pieces, quite simple, quite easy. So let's flip this round and do the same thing again on the other side. All right. And of course, we know not to make the same mistake again this time. So, run. So the piece here, get it in the right way. And this time it goes in this position. There we go, that's better. And then lower this in here. There we go, cool. We've got our two guns at the front. Happy days. No, I do not play Roblox, I'm afraid. Lego is the main one. Right, let's have a look. So, next piece to go on the top. And that one is there. Okay, you see that? Yeah, happy days. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, cool. Yes, it is my first live, so just bear with it if it feels a bit strange or sounds a bit strange. Because I've never done a live before. I've always just built Lego, just enjoyed it, but I thought, why not give it a whirl? Alrighty. So this one there. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Right. And I've got the same on the other side. Don't. And then the two grey ones here. Alright, and I've got some more. Okay. This is where it gets strange. Alrighty, we've got that's not inside there. Put that wheel on that. Okay, and then that and that. Let's have a look what you're saying. What is our factor? Oh, your favourite, you mean? I think you're trying to say favourite. Autocorrect, I'm guessing. Mine, mine is between the giant Millennium Falcon and the Venator. I think they're my two favourites. I have both of them, by the way. But yeah, I can never decide which one. Every time I see the Millennium Falcon, I just think it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life because it's giant, it's huge, but at the same time, I do love the Venator. They're both massive sets. I would like to get the Titanic, to be fair, but I don't think I've got any room for the Titanic. Believe me when I say that the Venator and the Millennium Falcon take up a lot of room. But if I was to put them next to the Titanic, I think the Titanic kind of beats both of them put together. So I need more house for that, unfortunately. Okay, now it goes here, the back. Do you just like the Titanic, or have you got the Titanic? Oh, nice. Yeah, well, yeah, there is that. That's the problem with the Millennium Falcon. If you have the Millennium Falcon and you just look at it funny, something falls off it. Every time we go past it or move something near it, something falls off. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a delicate build. Okay, can you go on there, please? There we go. Nice little click there. Right, so we're getting there. It's nearly a bike. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. I think the Titanic is in my wish list for when we have somewhere bigger to be able to put it somewhere. You know, a true dedicated Lego room. That would be pretty cool. As it stands right now, we'd have to move a lot of things around just to fit it in, so it's just not possible right now. Oh, two of these. Okay. Here we go, the next bits. Now for that. It's a nice printed piece. No need for stickers in this one. It's always good when there's no stickers, because it's a nightmare for stickers. Oh, least favourite. That is an interesting question. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple of sets that I haven't got because from everything I've seen about them and everything I've read about them and videos I've watched on YouTube and etc. They are very, very flimsy sets. There's a couple of newer Star Wars ones which I want because of the minifigs, but I don't want to get because I think spending, well over £100 I think is a little bit ridiculous sometimes. So I think it's the Felucia set. I think it comes with Felucia. I'd have to have a look which one it is. But there's a tank and there's another one, and both of them are very nice, but very flimsy, not worth it money wise, fall apart into pieces, and are just very annoying. Ones that I've got that I'm not a big fan of, I mean, I only buy them if I like them, really. I don't buy anything for the sake of it. Like, I haven't got every single Lego set, but yeah, I'm looking around and I can't think of it. I'm looking around thinking which one don't I like, but I actually like all of them. So, yeah, for me, like I say, I only buy what I like. I suppose if you can see let me just pick this up a second. If you can see there, this tank in the corner, this one's a bit, ugh, you know. But yeah, I kind of, I kind of like a bit of everything, but I try not to go crazy and buy a bit of everything. I kind of buy what I think is nice, if you know what I mean. But Minecraft, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm too old for Minecraft personally. But I think that anyway. I don't know if Minecraft is really for me. So I've not really looked at the sets. The Lego Friends, I don't really. No, again, they're not for me. So that's not something that I would buy. I like the city stuff, but only some of it. I'd have to actually have a full Lego city to kind of, you know, really appreciate it. But I think some of them are quite nice. I'm not a big fan of the. Crazily enough, I'm not a big fan of like the modulars, the builds, the little houses. I'm not a massive fan of the modulars, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think anyone having a modular is a bad, if you've got the room for modular buildings, that's cool. I don't want to use my room up on modulars. I'd rather have, you know, sets, cars, etc., or vehicles. At least with the Star Wars stuff, I'd rather have the vehicles than the modulars. That's just me. Um, but I don't know. They're not. I think some sets are aimed towards more other people's. Like kind of the girls' sets are aimed towards the girls, and the kids' sets are very aimed towards the kids. And although I do have a lot of Star Wars sets, I wouldn't say they're necessarily aimed towards kids. Okie dokie. So we have that. That is the bike done, which is pretty cool. Let's have a look. Okay, now this is visual medical Lego. Oh, that's cool. Glowing ghost. God, oh, medieval. I was like, medical. That'd be cool to have a medical set. That would. Yeah, the medieval sets. See, was it the Lego? Oh, the spinning thing. Oh, okay. So that is just literally the best way of describing it is what we used to call a lazy Susan. So it just spins. It's just something spinning. But that is the newest AT-AT from Star Wars. That's the one that came out just before Christmas, I think, or just around Christmas. That was the newest one. It's the Empire Strikes Back one. So it's the AT-AT from Hoth. So the ship flies around it, ties it up, and then it falls over. And if you've never seen Star Wars and you have no idea what he's talking about, then watch Marvel, because Spider-Man mentions it in Infinity War. I want to say Infinity War. Yes, I am going to do another set, Felix, not just stopping at the back door. I'm just going to finish off the Spider-Man part here. So we're going to put that on there. Hold on, I think spinning around for the spinning set. And let's attach Spidey to the back of this. Oh, let's put Spidey on the back of that. There we go. Okay, so Spidey's on the back of that. And I don't know how Ghost Rider is going to ride this bike with flames in his hands, but I'm sure he'll manage. And to be fair, he doesn't actually ride the bike, but there you go. I think the bike rides him, if you will. Okay. He doesn't want to hold on to this, does he? Why is he not clicking in? Come on, Peter. Get hold of this. Okay. go with that for now. Let's say you're dragging him backwards. So there we go. That's the end of that one. Let's just put these over here for a second so you can see it and appreciate it a bit more. So if you're looking for a very simple set, for me it's more to do with getting this guy. So I think this guy is much more interesting than anything else. There we go. You can just zoom into that. I think this Ghost Rider is actually a lot more interesting. But there you go. So yeah, that's set number 1 done. Alright. So what should we do next? Do we go for the other Spider-Man set? Do we go for the Back to the Future time machine? Or do we go for the flowering cactus on Botanicals? Who knows? Medieval. Is Felix still there? Or is Felix gone? Yeah, I think Felix. Oh, here we go. Felix is typing. Ships, ninja sets, because almost 5. I love them. I still do them. The biggest set is Titanic or Eiffel Tower. Oh. Have you got the Eiffel Tower, or do you just like the Eiffel Tower? Because that Eiffel Tower looks so repetitive. Every time I see someone talking about it, it is ridiculously repetitive. I think I got, which one was it, which was overly repetitive? I think the frame for the Falcon was a little bit repetitive because the inside frame is just, it's like Meccano, just over and over again, the same pieces bit by bit by bit, and that's about as exciting as it gets. You've got the Eiffel Tower, yeah, okay, well, was it repetitive? Like the tower itself, was it repetitive doing those? Because they're just basically bars of metal that go up and up and up forever, aren't they? So, as far as I could see, that just looked like it would, I think you'd have to have a break every few hours when I was doing it. I think that's the problem. All right then, so do we go with, so we've done this fella. Do we do some more Spider-Man? Do we do some Back to the Future? Or do we go with a flowering cactus? What do we think? Say it in the chat, people, say it in the chat. Oh, we're knocking over the 88 here. What do we think, chat? What do we think? What do we think? Oh. Alrighty. We'll go with the flowering cactus. I'm going to go with cactus. Cactus? Alright, cool. Cactus it is then. Okie doke. So this one is 482 pieces. This one should be interesting to do. I do love cactus or cacti, but they don't seem to live in my house, so I thought if we get a Lego one, at least I can't kill this one. Let's just turn it a little bit. There we go. Right. 4 bags for this one. That's all right. I have that one. It's fairly, I think it's fairly new. When it came out, when did this one come out? Was this a January 1st set? Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think I've ever noticed that before. The paper for the Botanicals is green. I don't think I've ever noticed that. I don't think they were green for the little flowery friends, the little plant friends. I don't think they were green for that. You don't have it? No. You should get it. It's not too bad. Where did we get this one from? Was it Costco? I think it was Costco. I think it was cheapest. We saw it in Costco. I think that's the cheapest place we've seen it so far. I think Smiths do it. It depends where you are, I suppose. If you're in the UK, Smiths do it. And yeah, Costco do it, but it's a good one to get. It's not that expensive. It's not as expensive as some of them. Some of them are kind of going over 100. Yeah. I think once you're pushing for over 100 for a botanical set, that's when it's like, oh, do I really want that right now? The new wall trellis one looks pretty cool, but I feel like you need to get like 3 or 4 of them to really enjoy it, and stick them all together and make a full wall trellis. That'd be pretty awesome. Okie dokie, are we good? Got good views? Yeah, basically. If you're in the UK, yeah, Smith's Toys is the best one to go to. If you've got a Costco, or if you know someone who can take you to Costco or get you in at Costco if you don't have a Costco card yourself, that's a good one to go to. But their offers come on, and they're not really offers that you can look online for either. They kind of just appear, and once it's gone, it's kind of gone really, because they might only have the stock in for a week, and for some reason, even though they have a full pallet of something, after a week it just vanishes. John Lewis is another one. John Lewis is a good one for sets, for not just newish sets, but slightly older sets, and if you're very lucky, really old sets that you can't get anymore. Have you realised I'm a sub, or have you remixed? I'm yapping. I've not realised you're a sub. I've only got it on the one screen, so I have not noticed, but appreciate it. Thank you very much. I've not realised. I'm not looking at anything like that at the minute. I'm just trying to get used to the whole streaming scenario at the minute. I need to get used to how all this works. At the minute, I'm just having a bit of fun streaming what I love to do, and I'll get to that eventually. But thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it. At least you can see when I go live. And I think we're probably going to go live tomorrow to do a Chopper over here. I'm pointing for the right direction. Chopper over here. I think we're going to start him tomorrow. He's over 1,000 pieces, so he might take a bit of time. But I just thought we'd try it going live for the first one, just to do a couple of little sets and see how well it looks, see how the new setup goes, and then we'll go from there. That was the plan. So yeah. But anyway, what were we saying? Yes, Smith's, good one. Costco, very good one. But like I say, Costco is one of those ones where you walk in and you hope that you find something, or you can see it online that someone's been in there and they've got them, but you kind of have to race for some of them, especially if it's I think it was the Batman Forever, the Batmobile. By the time we got there, they were all gone. But then the next time we went in there, they had more. So it swings and roundabouts, as they say. Sometimes you can get there and there's loads, other times you can't, unfortunately. Once it's gone, it's gone. And once they get a new set in, the palette that they had full of, whichever set it was, seems to have vanished. You could have been in there yesterday and there was an entire palette of something, but once it's replaced, you come in there the next day and they've all gone. And it's like, well, where did they go? Are they in the back somewhere? Are they sent out somewhere else so the staff get them? Where did they go? It's a mystery. We forgot to open the little bags. I'm sat here looking for a little tiny red one stud and I can't find any. Do you know why? Because they're in. It's not even a red one stud, is it? That was it. So we've got, I think around 60 or 70, give or take, I think, sub-wise. Yeah, you need 50 to go live. So just putting little videos on every now and then has kind of helped. And I'm going to carry on doing that, just to advertise kind of what's going on out there, and if people like them, cool. If they don't, it's not the end of the world. I know when I flick through and I'm looking at the shorts, I kind of like random things, but not my stuff's for everyone. My stuff's not for everyone. I put one up about the new football Lego set that's coming out in March. And strangely enough, even though we're in the UK and everybody loves football, for some reason people just did not seem to like that video. I'm guessing that not many footballers go on YouTube, maybe? I don't know. I'm not a big football person, so I don't know. But yeah, people didn't like it. Lord of the Rings, does very well on here. And what was the other one we did? I did another one. I can't think of how. Oh, likes what sets I have and what sets I'd like in a wish list. People seem to like that one as well, so I think we'll flick between that. Maybe start doing some videos of what sets I have, for example. People seem to like that kind of thing. I mean, I like that kind of thing because when I see other people's sets, I think, oh, I want that one. So maybe I'll start doing stuff like that. Get the comments going, have a chat with people. I think the stream for tomorrow night, I was going to go for 9 p.m. It's kind of, you know, around this time. Certainly the weekend is the best time to do it for us. So we just chill at this time. So it's probably going to be 9 p.m. Let's have a look. What's my biggest fear? Oh, that's interesting. No, I don't know. I don't really think about fears and so on. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one. I don't know. I don't really think about things like that. I kind of just enjoy life and go with the flow. Okay, let's put these on here. The only thing this is missing is it should be built like bricks. Like the curve should be a little bit different. It's like, now it's going to be wobbly now. Should be built like bricks and houses, you know? Obviously, alright. Need to turn it a little bit more. Let's turn it a bit. The only downside to doing this on YouTube is I can't listen to music at the same time. Is that going to just put some music on in the background? Not elevator music. Fear elevators, that's pretty interesting. Oh, right, claustrophobic, yeah. Yeah, I don't think an elevator would be good for claustrophobia and a fear of falling. That's not a good one. The people always say, you know, I'm scared of heights. I'm fine with heights. Heights don't bother me. I'm scared of sharks. Well, I don't go looking for sharks, so I'm usually alright with that one. I'm scared of snakes. Well, I've had a snake. A snake is fine. I don't mind snakes. So all the normal, kind of rational spiders, for example, they're all kind of irrational or rational depending on your viewpoint, but like none of them really bother me. I don't really get claustrophobic, so that one doesn't bother me. Maybe one day I'll come across something and think, hey, that's my fear, but I don't know. Just gotta have fun, haven't you? Just embrace life. Do another one. Okey-dokey. Right. All types of sharks are deadly. That might be true. I'm not big up on sharks, but to be fair, you know, they say that sharks don't bite. They're usually provoked, or you know, they think that something else is there. So you're right on that one. I just don't tend to go looking for them to prove or disprove it. And to be fair, by the time you're in a, you know, kind of situation with a shark, I don't think what's going to be on my mind is, oh, there's my fear, you know? Okay, so that didn't work out too well. That's plugged in fine. Oh, okay. I don't know why. I know what, it's fine. Let's do that again. Let's pull that bit out. Put that back in. Put that back in. And put that back in. Yeah, so that's so strange. I think we put it in at the wrong place. So that should be there. There we go. That's better. I heard there's some sea breakers in it. Hold on now. No, that's not what is it? That's the same. That's the same thing. Okay, what have we got here? What have we done? Did we do that backwards? That's that. That's that. Oh, that's why. I don't know. All right, let's try pulling that out a sec. Spin that round. Put that back in there. Put that in there. There we go. Let's see. No. I think your autocorrect is being very, very frustrating. I do have a cat. I do. Okay. So, yeah, we figured that out. That's fine. Okay. Right. Let's get to these bits now. So, that bit. There's a lot of blues. I'm not seeing them. Oh, there you are. There's one. And there's the other one. I don't know where he is, to be honest with you. He kind of just like lingers around, so I don't know where he is. If he pops in, I'll grab him and he can say hello. But I don't know where he is. He's going for a wander. Okay, so we're happy that that has got nothing underneath it to hold it up. No, okay, that's fine. Okay, there's that one. Let's have a look. Okay, so we need one of them, one, and then we need crazy lid. I need four of them. It's quite a simple set to build this one. It's quite nice. The good thing is we're only doing, this is only the vase, the vase, which I'm going to call it. You have two cats, oh my word. That sounds like a lot of trouble. One is one more than enough, and two cuddly enough. I think having two of them would just be just way too many cuddles. The other thing about cats is they like to cuddle up to you. You get hot enough when you sit on the couch and he lies on your legs and you think, oh, too hot, needs to move. I think having two would be overdrive. That kind of gets overboard. Oh, okay, so now we're doing that. Put that on. That and that. I think dog has to be my favourite animal. And nothing against the cat. He's a beautiful little thing, but dogs will always trump a cat. A dog will always want to spend time with you. Will always kind of love you, whereas a cat just wants you to feed it. But that's the end of it, unfortunately. Cats will dump you and walk away before a dog will. Yeah, definitely a dog. Cats are mean. If someone else wants to feed them, they'll walk away from you. When I was a kid, my old cat went home, went back to where we used to live, because it liked where we used to live, not where we moved to. We never saw the cat again. Whereas the dog followed us and stayed with us. So I think the dogs are a bit more loyal. As nice as cats are and as cuddly as they are, I suppose. This one through the middle. So far, quite sturdy, which is nice. Didn't think it was going to be that sturdy with the, the walls and so on. That was pretty cool. Ooh, that doesn't sound fun. No, that's not my kind of fun. I suppose it depends on the dog, really, doesn't it? It depends how the dog's been brought up and, all kinds of different things. I mean, I've had many dogs over the years, and none of them have ever been aggressive or, they've ever done anything to the kids other than kind of love them. So I've been quite lucky in that regard. But there are people that have had issues with dogs. And we'll get a dog eventually. But right now, we're happy with the cat. He's very nice. He isn't mean to us. He sits with us and chills with us, so we can't moan. The good thing is, because we don't let him outside, he never runs away to somebody else. Okay. And I've got these bits here. And I've got another one over there. And then it wants one in the middle. You still see how far? Yeah. That one. And that one there. And that one there. And I'm going to throw those bits in the pit. Just, see, my annoyance is having to get in these little tiny grooves to make them all perfectly match up. Because of that one, the gap there is too big. It annoys me. That's a little bit of OCD for you there. It has to line up really nicely. Not that it matters, because once you put it down, you don't really see that. You see kind of the bit above here, but still a bit annoying. There you go, that'll do for now. Okay. Alright, now we're going upside down. What are we building here? So, for these pieces, there we go. Alright. Okay. Put them in that. Nice. So what is that about? Don't know. Okay. So we're building the base on the bottom. Like that. Like is a German Shepherd, yeah. German Sherries. Your autocorrect is cool. It's only a puppy. German Shepherds are nice. I've always had golden retrievers, Labrador, that kind of thing. I've always liked them. Chocolate Labradors are nice as well. They're quite nice. But I don't know which one to go for this time. I've had a couple of little dogs, and I've had a couple of big dogs. Once upon a time, I had a sort of middle-sized mixed dog. Certainly when I was a baby. Mum and Dad had this kind of middle-sized dog, and then they got a bigger dog as I got older, so that the dog wouldn't knock me over, I presume. But yeah, German Shepherd. I wouldn't mind a German Shepherd, to be fair. Big dog. I think if certain people had their own way, we'd probably have one of each dog, to be fair. Pod. You'd think the autocorrect would realise what you're saying, wouldn't you? You're trying to say German Shepherd. The next thing in mind will be a shepherd to go with the German part. But it still insists on changing it to a word that makes absolutely no sense in the sentence. Again, no. Starting to look like what it's supposed to be. Around that. That one around that. Not bad. Not bad. And then we've got okay, on that one. That one. Okay. And then I'll cover that up. That. Some more builds here. Oh, there we go again with the flimsy underneath. That's what we managed to build. In hours wise, it was the Millennium Falcon. I did it in 32 hours. Now, I didn't sit there for 32 hours. I did it in 32 hours because I timed it every time I kind of came home and got the stuff out and started building and put my little stopwatch on my phone and timed it to see how long it would take, and it took me 32 hours. Venator was a little bit less. That was another one where I'll come back and do a little bit each day. I like to do a whole Lego set in one go, but unfortunately 6,000 pieces is not the type of thing that you just sit there and just do. Plus I want to enjoy it, to be fair. So yeah, 32 hours for that one. Let's see, Razor Crest, that was a long one as well, to be fair. That was a long one. And then the next one after that was Rivendell. And the only reason that Rivendell took so long was because of... okay. See you soon, Felix. Thanks very much for watching. For anyone else listening, the only reason it took so long is because of all the little tiny pieces that go on top of the roof to make it kind of that trellis kind of feel and that look. That was a nuisance, absolute nuisance to do. But other than that, the rest of them have been fairly simple to do. Alright, there is the bottom part of that. There we go. That's quite chunky. There we go. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, bag number 2. Put our spares over here. Oh, what happened? Oh man, that's caught up. I will fix him in a minute. He fell over. Okay, so let's find out what happened here. Unfortunately, the AT-AT is falling over, which is not good. So now his leg's broken off, and that is definitely not good. Look at that. Oh, what is that about? Okay, so let's just unplug that for a minute. Makes things a little bit easier. Might be the easiest one to do at this angle. Go back. Right, hold on. Poor AT-AT's legs fell off. Both of them. Just plug that back in. Yeah. And then plug his leg back in there. Make a joke. And then put that in there. There we go. And lastly, put his foot back on. There. Just like, oh, you'd all just stay there and not fall out for a minute. Cool. And then we'll plug this back in. turn that work like that. It's a little bit wibbly wobbly, but he's alive again. Okay, let's try that again. This time it doesn't fall off. Okay, there we go. There's always something. But he's alright now. He's fine. You can go back around to spinning again. You have to fix that though, because they're supposed to spin that way. And I think his leg's tied in at the wrong place. But it's okay. We'll get there. Alrighty, let's carry on. Oh, I get a new one of that. Oh no, these are all little tiny ones. Little wonder ones. The one's good. That's a good go. Alright, shall we? Can I see this? Are we good? Yep. Happy days. Okay. Like that. And we've got this little fella. Right. It's little building time. Okie dokie. Another one. Just this way, I presume. No, it's all fine. Just the image of waterfall. That's fine. We'll wing it. We'll work it out. I'll do some, what's this one? Some grey stuff? Oh, nice. Crazy brown stuff. So the brown stuff at the bottom, right? That's fine. And then, what have we got? Okay, let's flip it over. I mean, turn around. Okay. Yeah, same thing again. I think I skipped a few steps there. Nice reminds me of feeling. I'd say it's in the start weekends, the Lego built castles and so many cool sets. Yes, I definitely agree with that one. I would love to get some castles. Definitely would love to get some castles. I just don't know where to put them. That's the problem. I would literally need an actual Lego room, or kind of, as people have these giant Lego city kind of things. I would love to have a Lego city, but it wouldn't be buildings. It would be castles. It would be big, huge kind of dedications to the past that I would have in there. I'd have tanks and warplanes and so on. That'd be my kind of thing. I'd love that kind of thing. I don't necessarily think that everyone goes on about the Tudor Corner. It's a fantastic building. That doesn't. I mean, no offense to anybody that's interested in that, but that doesn't look interesting to me. I'm the kind of person that would reenact a war or something. A really, really old war. The kind of old war that's with castles and build some trebuchets and that kind of thing. That would be my kind of fun. Things are long, long gone. That'd be fun to do. But again, that comes down to having the space to do it again. And the money, of course. Because they're not exactly the cheapest of things. There's some really nice castles out there. And there's some really nice sets out there. But I think the... what's that Lego? I can't think what it's called now. There's the designer program. They really made some nice old-fashioned railroad kind of. Oh, look, this is pineapple. They made some really nice old-fashioned railroads and made a nice train station and so on. They've had some really cool things that have come up on there. I would take them. I'd make something out of them personally. Right, so there's one. I've got another one. Yeah, the Western. Thank you. I could not think of the word. Yes, Western. Yeah, I would definitely do the Western one. If I'd have seen it in time, because I'm always late to the party. These things. They did they did something a couple of weeks ago, last week, week before maybe, where it was like they had some sets remaining, and it would come on at 4 o'clock, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll have a look. Completely forgot. Went on at about 9 o'clock at night, and they were all gone. Now there might have only been 5, 6, 7 sets maybe. There might have been hundreds or thousands, but suffice to say, I forgot to go on because I'm rubbish at remembering these things. So I missed out on potentially getting something off there. I would love to get the Western sets. Plus, then I could, build the Back to the Future car in, Back to the Future 3 style, and then put that in there with the train behind it, and make it a full set. That'd be pretty cool. I'd build the old town from. I'd build Old Hilldale, or what's called Hilldale, from Back to the Future, but I would do it as, the Western version. The old clock. That would be pretty cool to do. Alrighty, so 2 of them. I'm going to put that. Where's it going? Where's the back? Yep. That's one. And the other one. 2 as well. So we have the beginnings. You see that over there? Yep. Alright, cool. Now a giant something like a huge solid from Monsters Inc. or something. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I don't know. What's the biggest. I think the biggest things they do for Disney is like the Lion King Simba, or is that the biggest one they've done so far? Like they've just done the 101 Dalmatians, haven't they? So is that the biggest like single character size they do? I don't think they do anything bigger than that, other than things like the Marvel Tower and Avengers Tower kind of thing. But actual Disney characters, like a giant Mufasa would be cool. But definitely, yeah, definitely Sully or do you imagine a giant Buzz Lightyear? That'd be cool. I'd like that. What else could you get? What other Disney characters could you get? Giant Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast. That'd be cool. Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Did they do a giant Mickey Mouse? It might be an old one. There's a bunch. Oh, we just don't do all this stuff. Yeah, I've seen. We went to the Lego store in London and saw the giant ones that they've made in there. That was pretty cool. And there are some places. I think there's one near us. There's a place in Manchester that does kind of the big sets on release days, but I want to be able to. It'd be cool to build one, wouldn't it? Like the ones that take like 30, 40, 50,000 pieces to build. Cost you about 2 or 3,000 to buy it, and then you spend, weeks essentially building it. That would be pretty cool. Oh, we forgot the file. Got the stickies. I suppose the question is, if you could only have one, because it would cost so much, would you only have Sully? Would that be the one that you'd buy, or would there be a dream one out there? Oh, the X-Men. Which one? The mansion. The mansion looks all right. Again, it comes down to, is that really kind of like the way I would. Again, if I bought the X Mansion, I would have to have the grounds around it. I'd also have to have the tennis court, and under the tennis court or the basketball court, whichever one. Sorry, not the tennis court, the basketball court. You'd have to build the ability for the basketball court to roll out, and for the X Jet to come out of that. That's the kind of, if I'm gonna do a Lego City, that's what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna make it an actual screen accurate or comic book accurate kind of set. Because to just have the X-Men house just sat there, it's just kind of frustrating in the middle of a Lego City. It's like that's not where it belongs. It has its own grounds. It's huge, and it has a basketball court. Yeah, bigger characters. Yeah, bigger characters will be fun. I don't know which one I'd do for. Because for me, when I was younger, as far as Disney goes, by the time it got to the point where I really, really liked Disney, outside of just being a kid and watching films for the sake of watching films, I liked Hercules. But how could you do a giant Hercules out of Lego? You couldn't really do that. It wouldn't really make much sense to do a giant Hercules. One. So I'd have to pick a different one. I mean, you could do the Fates, I guess. That'd be pretty cool. But that's just a lot of... I don't know. I don't think you could do Hercules in Lego. I mean, they just started doing Aristocats, so I suppose they're getting there with all the curves. Exactly. He was on a roll. And I suppose if he had the amount of pieces he'd roll off. There's my song. I can't sing it. I'm probably going to get moaned at by YouTubers singing it. And I just put that in my head. It's going to be in my head all night now. Thank you very much for that. Alrighty, what we got here? What we got? Okay. Is that going to be an all three sides? Yeah, it is. Oh, don't start. No, can't have all the songs. We'll be there forever. Plus, again, I'm not allowed to sing them. Am I allowed to sing them? I don't think I'm allowed to sing them. Okay, so here's where we are with that one so far. And this one is going to now have a wheel on it, which is quite interesting. And then we're going to flip it, so this one becomes that. Interesting. It's cool ways of making plants, though, I suppose, isn't it? Okay. That one. That one. That. I think Alzheimer's version changed every third word. I don't know. Metaphorical, my word. I'll just bring up big words. It's too late in the day for big words like that. Metaphorically speaking, this is a song. Okay, that's that. Okay, that one. Strange plant, this one. I'm hoping that that is going to go inside there, or somehow up there. Yeah, and then come back down, because that would make more sense, because otherwise it looks a bit lacking there, doesn't it? Some more plants. Right. There. That one. There. So we need two of these, and then we do the same thing again, and two on the other side. Oh, we're doing this backwards on this one. Okay, hold on. So that's what we're doing. The dark green on this one goes at the bottom. The dark green on the other one goes at the top. Oh, we've already messed one up. Hold on, let's just flip that around. There we go. Dark green at the top. And this one we're remembering, we need to do dark green at the bottom. These bits here. I think it'll look nice when it's all done. Oh, yeah, where's that? Oh, okay. We've done it wrong. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's it, bit. And now we've got some more of these. Yes, it is indeed a cactus. I just want it to look like a really cool cactus. It's a pretty good design, to be fair. Which makes me wonder how they come up with these designs. It will indeed get there. Really, I've got the Hercules slang in my head now. No. Turn. Is that going to be... Are we going higher on this one, maybe? Instead of lower. Okay. Yeah, we're going higher on this one, not lower. Okay. Alright, let's get the other two pieces done. Now I think we'll move on to a different plant then. Highlight some plants. Yes, it does indeed. There's a lot of plants. How are we doing for seeing things? Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Oh, come on. That one. Let's put the edges on. We're trying to cheat the system by not looking back on pages and then forgetting the steps, which is never fun. Especially when you think to yourself, what do we do next? And then we're flipping that over, because dark green's at the bottom. Yep. And then do it one more time. We've got a little follow next as well, because that's a little, at least that was slightly easier to do than the smaller one. Have I not seen more line? Yes, I have. Very good. It'd be interesting if I did it all backwards on each one. Yeah, you have to be patient with these. After doing, I don't know how many different pieces on the Rivendell set, these, you have to take your time with them. The Rivendell set was crazy. I don't know how many pieces were on the Rivendell set, just on the roof alone, the roof panel. Thought that was beyond frustrating. That was fine. Got down the end. Have we done it? What have we done? Yeah, we have done it the wrong way around, haven't we? We started on the plan, gone onto the green. Oh, yeah. Right. Give me a rolling out. See, this is what happens when you try and skip ahead. You end up in the wrong way. So, with the green one, it's starting with. No, not that. Okay, I'll just take you off because you want to argue. That's fine. Take off that. But I want. Yeah, 400 is a lot of money. It really is a lot of money, especially for something that doesn't really look like it's worth £400 either. That's the frustrating part of it. Because if you look at the piece count and so on, it's like, is that really worth £400? It's nice, don't get me wrong. But no, there's no sleeves. It's nice, but I don't necessarily think £400 nice. But we shall see. We're going to build it, I'll feel different. Okay, you're fine. Right, I don't know. I have to go back a minute here. I'm going slightly ahead. No, I'm going slightly ahead. Because that sits on top of that. And that one goes on there. Losing pieces. Pieces are jumping off. Okay. Is that right this time? Yes, it is. Okay. You see, kids, don't try cheating the system and going too fast. Yeah, all that money. What's going on? No. Maybe the Eevee eventually, but not any of the other ones just yet. Just because, one, they sold out on pre-order, so I should not be getting any of those because of the pre-order situation. And secondly, I think the price on some of it is a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. The price is way too high. So, it's supposed to be the same. I have to play around with that a second. So that is at the top, and that is at the top. No. Make it all match. No? Interesting. Okay, let's try that again. That's floating on nothing now. Let's come out a second. That definitely illustrating it in the way that that is built. So that is there, and that is there. That still leaves us the most at the bottom. So what is this doing to me? Nice. Oh, we'd have to go back here. Still got that at the top. It wants me to build it up on that one. So it's still going down. And that is definitely all the way in. And that's all the way in. And that's all the way in. So what is going on with the bottom bit? Because the bottom bit is sticking out. Which means that we end up with a wonky bit. That makes it all more interesting. I think we're in confused.com. Yes, well, I think if you're going to do the full Pokemon one, you'd have to do it bit by bit by bit, because it's like 6,000 pieces, so again, that's same kind of piece count as the Millennium Falcon. So you would have to do a lot of kind of separate pieces, separate builds in there. One, because you get bored anyway. I think if you're going to do the whole thing in one go, you'd definitely get bored doing that. I know I would get, I don't know, especially for smaller pieces, because a lot of them are tiny pieces as well. I would definitely get frustrated doing that. Right, so yeah. So yeah, if we could just pop out a second. Just go right back to the very beginning. a good place to start. So we take that, got the blue and over the other one there, that's fine. He's got one blue, right, yeah. And you're going to put that on there. 1, 2, 3, that's fine. Don't worry, we're just checking everything. Because for some reason it's not lining up. And then each one of these is, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And then that is going to sit. If we take that out in a minute, put that in there. We've got that up in the air. And that is going to sit there. Yep. We're happy with that. Relatively happy. Backwards. So let's do that. Green at the bottom again. Green at the bottom. And then green at the bottom. And it seems like that is all touching the bottom shelf. So we're happy with that. Okay. Spirit of a spirit. Jinkies. Needs water. Yeah, definitely needs water. This tree is going crazy. Right, so that's fine. That's normal. And then we've got on top. Yeah, that all lines up. And then we're going to do there. Yeah. Okay, I don't understand why we needed it on 2 pages, but it's okay. We'll allow it. Okay, so if we ignore the other parts, we get yeah, 2 on the front. Grays none of that. They're fine. Grey underneath. Put the wheel on top. Flip it upside down. Build these. 2 of these. Oh, don't knock it over again. And then we have there. What it doesn't show is whereabouts. I'm guessing. So according to that, it is right about there. So I would say it's supposed to be on the actual bottom part there, because you can't go any further down because this is in the way, and you can't spin it any other way. That is in the way, so it has to be on the bottom. And then you put it on top of that. No difference. Okay, you need to go over there. You keep nearly falling off. Keep yourself to yourself. And then these fellas are also going on there. And then same with these. And same with that one. So all 4 are in the right place. Flip it over. Roll at the top. We're in a good position. Put it down. It should all line up. But it doesn't. Well, it does. The spikes all line up. But they shouldn't. They should all be. Is there another click involved? Ah, so according to that picture, they should all line up. Seems to me that one needs to be further up. I'm supposed to line up at the top. You don't want to do it like that. and they don't sit on the bottom. So what is in the middle layer? It was playing around. It's a mystery, chat. It's a mystery. No, it's not the blue. That's an extra piece. So that is in the wrong place. To put it in there makes sense, but then there's a gap at the bottom. It's a mystery. Right, okay. Well, we're going to have to figure this out later. Let's see what the heck is going on. Right now, it's really strange. What that doesn't look like. Let's see. That lines up at the bottom. So they all line up at the bottom and they all line up at the top. There's an extra bit at the top there. So these ones supposed to be further down. They're further down. Why would it require that bit at the top? So we're seeing the fronts of that bit. I'm definitely confused. We might have to crack on with this again. I will get it right. Must be a stage missing here, guys. Something I'm missing. Something wrong. Right, you're the end. Let's go back again. I will get this right. Right, so we are yellow. Degree for that. Put the blue in there. We got two brown, yeah, and then we've got black underneath. I wonder if no, that's right. Let's just do it the right way. Let's just take it right back to basics. So you are come on, off you go. Off you pop. I wonder if after all that it was because I put these on the wrong way around. Okay, come on, off we go. And there we go. Okay, okay. So we have that. Put two of them on. And then we're going to do that. I wonder if we put it on. The only thing that was wrong is we put this on the wrong place. Okay, and then with those, I'm going to put that there, that there, that there, and that there. Then I'm going to put the grey ones on top of that. Yeah. Okay, that's all the way around. That's the two different sides here. And then we're going to pop that in there. That's in. Everyone's happy. We're all gravy. Okay. We flip around. It wants us to make a rook of these. I'm making them all the same. So that's fine. That's fine. Sounds good. And that one's good. We have four. All four exactly the same. All happy with that. And we want it to be dark green down. So dark green down from the bottom. That one, that one, and that one. Okay, we're cooking with gas. There we go. Okay, that's the second side. And then let's make this. So let's pull this one back to the beginning again. So we're going to do it properly and find out what happened. What stage we went wrong. We might as well do it all. Okay. So bottom, put in the light, put in the two colours, and then that's fine, that all lines up. Yeah, seems fine. Put this, now you go rolling up on me. What we got? Well, I'm just happy it's only a small set because I've done this many times on the bigger sets and it sends me a little bit crazy if you can't find what's wrong. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay. Yeah, good on that. That's all fine. Yeah, right. Wheel on top. Spin it over. That's fine. So we've made them the exact same way again. And then this time we're doing green bottom again. Yeah, green bottom because it's upside down. I'm going to line it up with the green on the bottom. Okay, because there's nothing else we can do. Grey and green meet at the bottom. Because if we're going further down, we end up in the way. Okay, so here we are. It is time to do it. I'm going to put that over there, and hey, now it lines up. There we go. There we are. So we're good. We're happy days. A bit of troubleshooting there, but we got there in the end. Cool. Alrighty. Then the last piece, wherever that's gone. Oh, wait, open bag 3 for that piece. Alrighty. Bag 3. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Little. And then at least it will be in a second when he's not arguing it. Thank you. There we go. Okay. That's what we're up to. Yeah, definitely a popcorn moment. No, it was, I think what the problem was is inside here, the black ones where you connect them at the very beginning, I think I'd put them too far down so that it added an extra stud all the way around, so it was never going to line up. We got there in the end. It's all good. Okay, there we go. Bag 3 of 4. No. There's no up or down. This is all the same. Happy days. Okay, what are you doing? Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, we do need some music. Just a shame. I'm jumping ahead again. I should have learned my lesson the last time, but I can see where it's going. If you want to make it in round, you can see that it's going to be, 2 on this side and 2 on that side. So I'm just doing all 4 at once. I understand. This is where I just went wrong. But still, I'm still going to do that. Okay, put that there. That's so 2 of these. Yeah. We need some songs. Got too many songs in my head. Too much music in my head. Right, there we go. Little smaller type. And a 1x1 slope. Good enough. Okay, so now we're going to fix that with this part at the bottom to the bottom part. Everything's reading right. Looking very nice. There we go. It is definitely repeating itself, but on a smaller scale this time. So this time we've got a little fella, which is, if you look at scale wise, he is only tiny. Which is pretty cool. Alright. 2 down, 2 to go. Spin it around and repeat. Okay, that. Little plant. Here's a little fella. It is only a little fella, you're quite right. It's going to be the same thing again though, because, you know, bag 4 is going to be the top thing, the top part of it. Or maybe bag 4 is flower actually. So maybe we're going to get all in this, and then bag 4 will be the flowers and the petals and so on top. That'd be pretty nice. Okay, let's do the last one of this. That one. Okay, so there is half part 1. And now let's just put it in here. You going in or not? Okay, you can do it. I believe in you. There we go. Okay. Hold hands. You see that? No, hold your hands. This one, piece-wise, is 482. So if we hadn't have had to rebuild that, you know, that whole thing again, and also, you know, show you the process, and also interact with the chart, then it would probably not take as long. But I kind of like enjoy just taking my time with them. I'm not the type to race around and try and get it done as fast as possible. Plus, sometimes you have like a food break and a drink in the middle, and you know you can't rush these things. So enjoy it. There's no fun if you're going to rush around and try and get through it as fast as possible. Well, thank you very much. That one. So same thing again with this one. We're just going to make the reverse of this and then slide it in. So no different than it was last time. You're going to put these on here. You're going to put that on there. And that. Reverse up. Reverse up. Reverse up. And then reverse up. Okay. There we go. That's that piece done. There we go. Cool. Need to find a way to put music on. Otherwise, I'm going to annoy everybody who's singing to myself. And at the minute, I've got the strangest of noises in my head from TV shows from many years ago. what I don't understand with this one, one of the downsides to this, is that you're making the exact same pieces, right? You're doing the exact same thing all the way around. There's no difference whatsoever, except it tells you to make two, and then flip it around, and then make two more. That confuses the heck out of me. What have we got? What do you think of the Death Star? I'm not a fan. I mean, if you could maybe one day I'll do a tour of the room, but if you could see the Star Wars sets that I have, and then you could understand that I love and adore Star Wars, and the excitement that I had when I heard that Star Wars was coming, and we were going to have a Star Wars, a Death Star, a proper full-size Death Star. I was, kind of ridiculously excited for it. And then when it turned up and it was finally revealed, it was a bit, it's not really a Death Star, is it? That's just a giant modular. It is a wall of modulars on top of modulars on top of modulars, which I'm not a fan of. I don't mind, I have, where's my modular? Oh, hold on. I have this modular. Oh, you can just get it. I have this modular, okay? This one, I like this. Yeah, this is cool. It's a scene. Yeah, it is a scene from the movie. It is cool. I like it, and it also comes with one of the figures from the 25th anniversary sets. And I'm trying to get them all, so I needed to buy that to get that. But I don't want, I would get there's a Death Star modular out there that I want to try and get hold of, which is literally just, not the Smart Bricks one, the original one. I'm going to start on the Smart Bricks thing, but anyway, the other one looks really, really cool. I want that one. And they are kind of the only modulars I really want. I don't really see the point in a giant modular. There we go, see the point. In a giant modular full of modules from different scenes and so on, and then having £1,000 or $1,000 kind of price tag on it. I think it's a little bit much. That's just me. What do you think? Let's see. I finished the little heads and the other side already. I did it comes to the same could go mine. That is very true. It's very diorama. I was happy because I wanted it like Death Star. Outside and inside could have been a diorama. Yeah, diorama, modular. I think I might have said the wrong word earlier, but yeah, it is very, very samey across the board. And there are there's loads of little sets and little kind of things that you can do with each one. Hi Felix, welcome back. There is little things that you can do, and there's little bits of fun you can have with each one. But I don't know. I think £1,000 or $1,000 and £900 is a lot of money to ask people to pay for what is essentially about 8 dioramas, modulars, whichever, whatever you want to call them. It's a lot of money to ask for somebody. So yeah, maybe in a few years' time when one of these crazy sales goes on and you think to yourself, I'm going to get one, then maybe I will. But it would have to be massively reduced in price for me to buy it. Like really, really massively reduced. Because I'm really not going to spend that much money. I wanted to buy the AT-80, but I didn't get that. Because again, it's nice and I love it and I'd love to have one, but is £900 really? Is £900 for an AT-80? It's a lot of money. Whereas this guy is, a nice one. Yes, someone outside of Lego making a realistic Death Star. There's been a few over the we've had Death Stars. We've had some nice Death Stars. I suppose the problem is they're not really affordable because the amount of pieces that it costs to make them. I don't. If you want a bit of everything, so you want an inside and an outside, it's very difficult to do. If you just want an outside, then it's It's still very pricey because the amount of pieces that you need, but an outside is a lot cheaper to do than an inside. Once you get to, needing to do an inside as well, aside from the piece count, it's going to be ridiculous. I want to go buy the captive Lego set. I got it. Cool. Happy days. Where did you get it from? I think if you want to go and get a inside and an outside Death Star, I don't think you can do both. I don't think you can do it all in one. Like I thought I wanted an indoor and an outdoor, where you could open it up. But then when you look at it, you think to yourself, well, price-wise, that would be utterly ridiculous. And everyone's got a different idea of, firstly, which Death Star they want. Secondly, which part of the Death Star they want. That's the problem. Got it from Smith's Toys. Happy days. Cool, cool. Happy days. It's a nice set. It really is. We had a bit of fun earlier, Felix. We had to redo half of it, but we're good now. A really big modular Death Star, that would be pretty cool. Either way. I think I would probably do Death Star 2, because as much as I kind of obviously I loved the original Star Wars, just not. I didn't grow up with it. I grew up with Return of the Jedi. So even though it was on, even though it was there and I could watch it, I kind of grew up with a different Star Wars. I wasn't a 70s kid, or a 60s kid. So I kind of watched a different one and became obsessed, I want to say, with that one. So for me, Death Star 2 is the one that I would kind of build. And I'd have this, Emperor versus Vader, Emperor versus Luke, and Vader versus Luke, and so on. I'd have that going on in mind. So it'd be interesting to see what that would look like. And then obviously you got the diehards from the original that want the likes of the trash compactor and those kind of scenes, and Han running into the room of stormtroopers, or a couple of stormtroopers if you go for the very, very original. So it'd be different. Yeah, I suppose it depends when you were kind of born, firstly, and when you really kind of got into it, because quite a few people like what they liked, or the reason why they like it is because it relates to them and their childhood and so on. Like me with Return of the Jedi. Like, I think Empire is one of the best movies ever made. Not because everyone thinks that, but because you can kind of appreciate it as you get older. But Return of the Jedi will still always be kind of my movie, just because that's the one that I kind of watched growing up. Okay. So, please, you two going up. No, right. A little bit more. Ah, I got one that's just trying to escape already. There's always one. What do you do? You go there. No more escaping, please. No more escaping. Not carry on escaping. No more escaping. Why is it only going up to there? What is that? Yeah, there's a rogue one here. Rogue one. Get it? Star Wars Rogue One. Do you like the face I made? Crazy Eyes? Is that Crazy Eyes? I think that's supposed to be Crazy Eyes. I don't know. Kind of cool. I think it's so why. Oh, I know why. Because it's sat on the link, isn't it? That's why it can't go up anymore. Okay, so those two are staying out then. Okay, we might have to try and figure that out. I think we need to put some not on the wheels. Hold on. So this wheel. Let's just see if we can take that off. There we go. You come off a second. Don't worry, we'll bring you back in a second. So 4 per side. Let's try this. Not running away these petals, like real petals. Did I watch Stranger Things? I have not seen the new season yet. The newest season I've not watched just yet. I'll get to it eventually. I've waited many years for it to get to the end now, so it won't hurt to wait a little bit longer, you know? I'm at that point where I'm just like, there's no rush. It's not going anywhere. I've seen everything up to the new season anyway. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you like the end? But a lot of people say different things about it, so it'd be interesting to know what everyone thinks. Okay, let's try that again. Can you see that? There we go. No, I think I did some of that off screen, so apologies. I was just trying to get it to a point where it was looking okay. There we go. Nice little flower on the top. They lost the plot. What, halfway through the last season or just halfway through Stranger Things? Because they do that with quite a few TV shows, to be fair. If you've seen Lost, they really did lose. They got well and truly lost. Incidentally, I also love Lost, but they did get lost. Okay. Right. Can you see again? Are you there? Okay. Ooh. Growing up would be a mix between Return of the Jedi and I think I would say Back to the Future, probably. But then there's random obscure movies. So, yeah, I'd say probably Return of the Jedi. That's the one that I watched the most as a kid. That's the one that I kind of came home from school and put on every day. Because I had it on video. I would just come home, put it on. Yeah, Lost did get lost. Well and truly lost. Lost the plot. Lost what they were doing. I think they forgot what the original plan was. Yeah. I think it was a good ending if it wasn't the ending. Like if they decided that they were going to carry on and finish that off as a season and then go into the next season so they could explain how that was going to work. Because I think the whole Man in Black thing needed to be explained, and Jacob needed to be explained a little bit better, and they were obviously kind of taken from, kind of the Bible a little bit and trying to steal a few pieces here and there. But I think if they'd expanded it just a little bit and spent a little bit more time on it and done another season, they probably would have done quite well with it. I think they lost people, quite literally, as the title says. I think they kind of lost a lot of people with how utterly bizarre it went. See, Power Rangers. No, that was a good movie. Or it was a good movie. I liked the movie, to be fair. Of Ivan Ooze. That was a good movie. I like the way that they went to kind of like the ninja Power Rangers, which was pretty cool. And to be fair, when that came out, I was actually too old for Power Rangers on paper, Okay, did we? Oh, I know what we did. We put flowers on these and we didn't need to. You silly sausage. Right, let's try that again. So you two are supposed to be just little flowers. And you are supposed to be a full flower with a flower underneath. Oh, see, there we go. Skipping steps again. What's my favourite movie? Oh, that is a very good question. Oh, my favourite movie now. It's been Liar Liar for a long time. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's been Liar Liar for a long time. I could pretty much, once upon a time, I could quote that film line for line. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on obsessing over Lord of the Rings. I think Lord of the Rings is going to be. Lord of the Rings is going to be the thing that I will just keep watching forever and ever and ever. All three of them. They're all the same. They're all one film. Anyone that's like, oh, no, 3 different films? No, sorry, they're all the same. It's just one big story split into 3 pieces. But yeah, Lord of the Rings is definitely up there. Where's that? Yes, Henry Cavill does like Lord of the Rings. Stranger Things, favorite characters. Just get the dog on it. I let the dogs out. Now that's a song that takes me back. That was a long time ago. I've not seen the new series, so I can't comment on if we let the dogs out bit, but if we let the dogs out, that is a fun one. Alrighty, so I think that if it doesn't fall apart is the end of that one. So there you go. It has flowers. Oh, demo dogs. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the demo dogs are cool. I mean, the demo dogs were in other things, other computer games before Stranger Things. But yeah, there you go. So there is the Botanicals flowering cactus. Not bad for the first live. 2 sets done. Ta-da! It's not bad at all, is it? Let's just put it on here a second. Let it spin around so you can see it properly. It does a better job than spinning it than I do. Okie dokie. Well, that's been our building session for today, which is, nearly 2 hours. So I think we're going to leave it there. The fruit orange or the word orange? Oh, well, I mean, the fruit came first. The word came after, to be fair. So yeah, the fruit definitely. We just didn't call it an orange, and the colour of orange wasn't called orange for a long time. So we're going to leave it there tonight, guys. Thank you very much. And if you want to watch me do this again, I'll be back on tomorrow night to start Chopper over here. He'll be the next one to start, and that'll be tomorrow night. We'll probably won't do the whole thing on one sitting, but we'll break it down and do a few bags here and there. So thank you very much. And yeah, if you want to like and subscribe, then you'll see when we come back on. I'll do this again tomorrow. Thank you very much for everyone that commented in the chat. Felix and MMMVNSDFV, the cool name. And anybody else that commented right at the beginning. Thank you very much. Enjoy your rest of your evening, and thank you very much for subscribing and likes. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.